Hello everyone, my name is Vasyl Starko and I would like to present the research I have conducted together with my colleague Olena Synchak from Ukrainian Catholic University. Our paper is titled Feminine Personal Nouns in Ukrainian Dynamics in the Corpus. As the source of our data, we chose the GRAC corpus, and we specifically focused on newspaper text in this corpus. GRAC is a fairly large corpus with 1.9 billion tokens, and it covers more than 200 years, and it has been recently updated with many new texts for the past 2 years. For each year, we created a subcorpus of newspaper text, starting from the year 2000 to the year 2022, and here in this chart you can see the sizes of these subcorpora in tokens. And these are the subcorpora that we use to trace the dynamics of the lexical items in question. Which feminine nouns should be considered new? To answer this question, you need to have some kind of reference. And for our reference dictionary, we chose the Web Dictionary of Ukrainian Feminine Personal Nouns, published in early 2022. It has 2,000 headwords, 36% of which are not recorded in other dictionaries, and is available at the website dictionary portal rtu.org.ua. You can see the web interface where you can search for either the feminine noun or the masculine form, and you can see all the different forms that are associated with a given masculine form. To start our investigation, we needed to establish a baseline, and to this end we chose to conduct an analysis of feminine nouns in sports. The feminine forms are well established in the Ukrainian language in the domain of sports, and we have extracted 96 such nouns from Vasyl, a large electronic dictionary of Ukrainian, and we created a lemma query in Corpus query language, combining all of these nouns into one query and searching for them as lemmas. And you can see here the results. We can see some fluctuations in the frequency of this group of nouns, and these can be attributed to various factors such as seasonal changes due to large sports competitions or varying media coverage of sports and so on. But in general, there is no clear trend, either upward or downward. We then looked at a very large group of feminine occupational titles. The group that we studied comprises 744 items, over 500 lemmas from the Vasyl dictionary, and more than 200 unlemmatized words. And we created two CQL queries, one for lemmas and one for unlemmatized words, and you can see the results in the plot. And here the plot looks different. We can see some fluctuations between 200 to 300 hits per million, which is the relative frequency, until the year 2015. And then starting from 2016, there is a clear upward trend. With each year, these occupational titles gained wider currency. So there's a shift happening in around 2016 according to this frequency plot. We then looked at how many different lemmas among women's occupational titles are used each year in the corpus. And again, we can see there's an overall rising trend, but starting around 2016, it has accelerated considerably, reaching around 550. That's the number of different lemmas that were used in 2022, which is a pretty remarkable number, considering that we studied altogether 744 items. So not only the overall frequency of this group increases in the corpus, but also the lemma variety has gone upwards. Our next point of interest was the dynamics of war-related feminine personal nouns. This group includes 124 items, which were taken from the Vasyl dictionary and from the Web Dictionary of Ukrainian Feminine Personal Nouns, and combined into one CQL word query. The frequency plot shows that until 2014, they were used very rarely. But then, with the Russian aggression against Ukraine, this number spiked to almost 30 hits per million, and then peaked over the next 2 years, after which mass media outlets evidently lost interest in the topic. So we see a sudden drop and then again a rise in 2022 with a full-fledged war that Russia began against Ukraine. So this group includes references to women or designations of women in different military positions or performing different functions in the army. We then zeroed in on specific cases, looking at Prezidentka, which stands for female president. And you can see that the use of this word, with or without a prefix, really took off starting around 2018. However, it's interesting also to look at how one specific person is described over the years. And we chose Alexandra Koval, who is a well-known public figure. She used to be the president of the NGO Book Forum and the organizer of Ukraine's largest book festival in Lviv, before she was appointed director of the Ukrainian Book Institute in 2018. And you can see here that the masculine forms clearly predominated until 2017. And then in 2018, the masculine and feminine forms reached a state of equilibrium, after which feminine forms definitely took precedence. So by masculine and feminine forms here, we mean all the different words in either type that were applied to this person. These frequency plots represent two productive models, both corresponding to words ending in logist in English, such as psychologist. Here again, we see that widespread adoption of these feminine forms started around 2016, 2017, and has been increasing since then until now. So all in all, we have converging evidence pointing to a major shift occurring around this time in the use of feminine derivatives in Ukrainian. Part of our research was dedicated to discovering new feminine personal nouns in GRAC. We found some 2,000 items of this kind, and when ordered in terms of the productiveness of the models, they align well with what we've previously found based on dictionary data. However, feminine forms ending in itya are used more often now. We have also observed the phenomenon of competition among variant feminine forms. By now, the leaders have already emerged in many such groups, as can be seen from the table in this slide. To conclude, the present corpus study of Ukrainian feminine nouns is largest to date. A major shift occurred 7 to 8 years ago and followed by unprecedented upward dynamics. It was shaped by social factors and expedited by major external events such as the Revolution of Dignity and Russia's war against Ukraine. there is ongoing competition among new feminine forms with emerging winners, and there is a need for better lexicographic coverage of feminine forms in Ukrainian.